Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your favorite paranormal investigator. My name is Tim Sedano. Tim Sedano. This is Paranormal Insight. Welcome to the show. Last week we had a rousing success with trolling the internet for the paranormal, and we're going to do it again this week. So, if you want more fun stuff, and you want to either laugh with me or go, Tim, you're wrong, feel free to join us. The chat is wide open. We're available pretty much wherever you get the UPRN, or you can go to my channel, which is, turn on the ye old ticker here. There I am. Oh, that's my Gmail. That's okay. You can go there too. Give me a quick little note, and maybe I'll bring you in. So, let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, we're trolling for the paranormal through my Instagram account at Paranormal Insight. Paranormal.insight on Instagram. I'm going to stop the banner here real quick. Okay, so let's get this up on the stage. The first thing we're going to look at is, and I hate to include people, but I think it's important. The Forrestal MJ12 thing is kind of cool, and there's other fun stuff to look at, but we're going to start here. So let's take a look at this one. She's going to go on for a minute, but this is someone's body cam footage. I'm going to zoom in on it up here, see if I can get that done. So this is really, really, if this is faked, it was really well done. And they also got this here. So, yeah, she goes on to explain a few more things, but look at that. That's pretty darn neat. If this is AI, it's really well done. I'm seeing a bit of a halo as an artifact compared to everything else around there. But, I mean, because I don't see it with the trees here, and I think I may detect a slight halo with that character as well. But, as far as the Dogman and or the werewolf goes, I thought this was relatively accurate to what I would expect from a mid-form dogman and or werewolf. It's crazy that this footage was really caught and no one's screaming from the rooftops about it, because, I would. And this is brought to you by Brooke Stir. She brought this to our attention, so thank you, Brooke, for that. But yeah, that's pretty impressive. I'm gonna have to say, I don't know. I'm gonna say no. Hello to Heidi in the chat. How's it going? You gonna message me about something? Okay, that's fine. So yeah, there's our first one today. So if you have comments or questions or rude noises, don't add rude noises. I'm just kidding. But if this looks like something that, because it's apparently from a ranger's body cam footage, and this zoom is done artificially. You can tell because it gets more and more artifacty, and that could, photographically speaking, account for that halo around the creature. And then there's this one too. There's also something interesting that happens. I want to point it out as the loop comes back around. Yeah, little digital artifacts here and there. So if this is something that is artificially generated, kudos, because they match the background, they match the lighting. It's not that hard to do if you know your way around color correction in CG artistry. And the feet is what does it for me more than anything. I usually look at the feet. You see the way when he goes over and he goes animalistic, how the foot pops kind of on more on the balls of the feet, as I would expect when you're going to all fours. And they even teach that in martial arts and in special forces training to one degree or another. That, that level of awareness with your feet instead of trying to keep them flat, that kind of happens anyway when you do it. If you go to all fours on your hands and feet specifically, not your hands and knees, your hands and feet, They, it kind of happens naturally, but they really enhance it, and just the way it locks in. I mean, the ankle is way up there. If this is the ankle of the beast, it's way up there, and then he stands flat, straight up the net of the thing. So I don't. My guess is because of the artifact, and you saw that little blip around the bush there, and there's more on the other angle as well. I wonder if I can pause this. Yeah, I can. Okay, let's just. Aha. Yeah, you see that little weird thing there? See, this is what makes me think that this was staged. This one in particular. I think the two different shots are relatively different. Um, because it's filmic. Someone added a filmic filter to the footage. So a lot of things are screaming to me this is fake. Although, I mean, kudos. The lighting here in the foreground versus the lighting in the background is really, really well done. Although I will say, I don't know why someone's using a really bright light back here. That doesn't make sense to me. If they're doing flash photography, okay. Still wouldn't need flash photography in a gray setting like this. Um, but yeah, so the push is, my guess is no, this is totally fake. But whoever put this together, they probably used AI to a degree or some sort of CG software to really put this together, and it looks really good. The proportions, if I were to see a dog person or werewolf or whatever, this is what I would expect. Hollywood exposure notwithstanding, because they picked this like in the Van Helsing movie with Hugh Jackman. Excellent, thank you, Heidi. So they kind of looked like this. They're werewolves. Looked like this. So I mean, it's derivative if it is enhanced, which I'm thinking it is. It's a really good AI and or CG, really taking into account that. Now they could have had another person standing there, being the motion capture person, kind of a deal, because AI is able to duplicate movement, and we've seen that happen with various different things. But I thought that was kind of interesting. So let us move on. Ron Hill's 1967 Alien Encounter. I'm going to skip that one because the image quality is freaking horrible. The ice wall thing, we could do it if you want to. Let's save that for later and go back to it after the break. Same thing with the lizard thing. Hey, what's going on? Okay, there we go. We have lots of fun stuff to get through here. And I lost my spot. See, we have all kinds of. Okay, so lizard thing. Attempts on his life because he tried to talk too much about Admiral Byrd's journey. So I kind of went down a bit of a rabbit hole when it came to Journey to the Center of the Earth. Now, briefly, from this point forward, we're going to go a little out of order here. This guy put together a very convincing costume. And here it is. So that's a dude in a costume. And we see cosplayers do this stuff all the time. And granted, the werewolf thing didn't look that thing, but you see where the joint is. He's standing on like a ski or something like that that can really support that kind of weight. And he's still hunched over in his basement or his garage, or I think it's his basement though. So, ooh, he looks so scary. So, just to say, if someone's going to do something practical that doesn't require CG, it's completely doable. And it would be frightening. And look how he's able to move. He's able to stand up real tall. It's kind of creepy. His head goes into the rafters. But, yeah. And then he's going to do a little bluff charge here at the camera. War. And yeah, I could see that happening. And so I'm thinking if we are seeing something that's a little more practical, a little more unexplained, that isn't obviously CG generated or AI generated, it's probably someone in a costume, very complex costume like this. And they're not hard to make these days. Okay, so let's drift over here to, isn't this fun? This is one of my favorites. The cloud. Now, we've all seen this happen. We've seen these cloud things happening. I don't know where this is specifically, but it looks like a lump of soap, but it doesn't deteriorate and it stays together. And it almost seems to have a consciousness to it, its movement to a degree. So isn't that fascinating? I thought that was kind of cool. And what is it that is making these fluffy cloud things come out of the sky? So he's gonna poke at it, which its consistency also is really weird. So we're gonna see these guys lose it for a second, and then yeah, here he comes. It's coming back now. Okay, this is kind of a reloop of it, but it's fascinating to watch these guys just kind of play with this thing. And the way it moves around is really bizarre. You see, he tasted it. What's it taste like? Isn't that interesting? And he's able to stick his hand into it. I mean, I'd be afraid of not pulling back a stump, personally. But I don't know how to explain this. I'm not. I know there are certain weather-related meteorological things that could account for this. I don't know what they are. I've heard of them though, but to see this lump of cloud fall from the surrounding clouds is very interesting. Oh, excuse, sorry. Talking yawn. I talk too much, so I tucker out my voice. But yeah, that's really interesting stuff, I think. Okay, moving on. If I can move on. There we go. Now, this was kind of interesting. This talks about the Vimanas, and that this could actually be a jet cowling. And it supposes that we already knew how to fly. We just had to reinvent the technology. So, to briefly explain this a little bit before I play the clip is, yeah, very intriguing. I agree. The cloud thing. So the video we're about to watch supposes that in the past, especially regarding the very well documented um, Indian texts of old, the ancient stuff, where they wrote about everything, and they even taught us or tried to teach us how to build our own craft that these gods were flying around in. And yeah, step by step instructions on how to make one. And this video goes into this a little bit. So it's a bit of a long one, but I think it's very interesting. And I don't know who did it. Ancestral Explorers gave us this one. Let's see. See if we can call up the sound here. Let's see here. Oh, I reduced it. Myths or symbols. Sorry. The Vedas and the Mahabharata describe. There we go. Hopefully you can hear that. I can hear it in my ear. I don't know if you can hear it though. I can go out and come back in. Heidi, can you let me know if you can hear this? No audio. Okay, good to know. Okay, so I'm gonna go out and come back into this, everyone, because apparently you couldn't hear it. So let me dip the microphone down and we'll play it again. They lied to us. Humans didn't invent flight in 1903. We just rediscovered it. Oh, you can't see it. You know what? I'm going to do that again because I goofed on that. My apologies, everyone. So, hopefully you can hear all that. Let me turn up the volume input a little bit. They lied to us. Humans didn't invent flight in 1903. We just rediscovered it. Ancient Indian texts describe flying machines that I can't get the. They were called Vimanas. These weren't myths or symbols. The Vedas and the Mahabharata describe them in detail. Yeah. Machines that could travel across the sky and between worlds. One verse even says, an apparatus that moves by its own power from globe to globe. And wait,
It gets crazier. The texts list how they were built. Vimanas had 31 parts, including a photographic mirror beneath, and were made of 16 rare metals. But today, scientists can only identify three. In Tibet, ancient Sanskrit scrolls were found describing their anti-gravity propulsion, a force called lagama, the same power said to let humans levitate. So ask yourself, how could a 6,000-year-old civilization describe anti-gravity and interplanetary flight unless they'd seen it? Maybe the first pilots weren't human. They lied to. Okay, so yeah, they lied to us. That's horrible. Um, I'm sorry about this. Yeah, they lied to us. I'm sorry about the sound issues, but it's fascinating to see this piece of technology here that obviously, for my money, moves. You can see the groove right there where it got corroded a little bit, but this almost looks like a jet cowling for a modern day jet engine, like on a passenger jet or something. So I found that very fascinating. Um, I hope you did too. But yeah, that kind of brings to light that we were. I think there has something to do with that little baby ice age that we had that just kind of literally threw us back to the Stone Age for the most part. Because I think all this happened roughly before that, and then there's nothing or people go into hiding, and they found, especially in the India Tibet area, they found like way up in the hills, the ranges, the mountain ranges there, they found caves where everything was documented. Everything was documented. So it's kind of fascinating to really consider all this. Would this be considered paranormal? No, alternate history, maybe. But I mean, well, not even alternate history, really. Not from my perspective, anyway. It's more, well, it's just not mainstream. It's not talked about. I mean, would you want to? You see, okay, yeah, let's have a little baby discussion on this here. Would you want to be a people, a race who had all this stuff and lost it and then got it back again, or would you? And I don't know why the powers would care one way or another. To be completely honest, but maybe all this ancient stuff gave us regular folks too much power. There's that argument. I mean, honestly, I don't know. So I think it's a matter of controlling the narrative to a degree. So there is a political aspect to it in that vein, in that way. But clearly, to me, given that this thing is designed the way it is, and it has movable parts, you can see the joints where the corrosion is set in. Sorry, talking yawn. Woo, golly, I'm on a roll today. Time for more coffee. Mm. So, powers that be, whoever they are, don't want us to dig into our past too much because we may discover that we had not only levitation and anti gravity and all that fun stuff, um, and we want it back, and we dive into this history, especially the Vermanas and stuff like that. I think I mispronounced that, but excuse my itch there. Um, but it's a matter of having, yeah, we just go diving into it. It's like recovering that technology that was lost and having us pick up maybe 100, 200 years down the from where we apparently were. Although I can attest to this to one degree or another, being former NASA employee and having been in the Air Force RTC program, where you know they they ignore the peons, man. I think that's the greatest mistake. They got to make sure they're alone when they talk about this stuff. But I learned about all kinds of crazy stuff. I said so on the show before, and it is never mind. I've had my own experiences, but to have what I would determine to be
if we're sticking to the current narrative, to have, anti-grav and levitation, which is approximate, what would you call that? Another, we kind of have it already. I mean, we know that liquid mercury spinning in a vessel will produce anti-gravity. Um, a toroidal thing. But we've all seen those videos. I should have saved one of those here. But it's also a matter of control. Yeah, I really do think that. I think they're trying to keep us at a certain space. Can't get too advanced. Otherwise, they might start leaving the planet and explain. Go out of our range. I whacked the mic. I'm so sorry. Go out of our range of influence and so on and so forth. And so, yeah, you could make that argument, and I think there is something to that. What I'd like to see happen, and it's kind of happening already with a few different people, but most of them just they're millionaires or billionaires, and they got the money to really kind of pursue this stuff on their own. Whether they have experience and or exposure to government projects or defense projects or whatever, that would allow us to have that level of technology again. Because I call that, I think we're going to see more practical applications of levitation, whether it's toroidal mercury, lifting up a body or a vessel, but whatever. Uh, I think I put us anywhere from 50 to 100 years away from that being publicly made aware. I hope it's earlier. I'd love someone to just crack open DARPA like an egg, let all the advanced technology fall out. But I mean, that's a wish. I don't think it's going to happen. I can be hopeful, but in reality, I don't think it's going to happen. So, anywho, let's move on to something else. Let's get back into the fun stuff. We show that. Okay, I want your opinion on this. Now, this lady loses her mind because she thinks this is a UFO, but I want you to be super observant and tell me what you see. And let me see if I can turn her audio on. Yeah. It's impossible. That cannot be anything that's that high. Or the words. That's Coca-Cola, honey. Yeah, but okay, I'm gonna pause it right there because hey, we have a light that looks very much like the other one that we just saw. No, I'll grant you, it's hard to tell what distances. She pulled over the side of the road to take a look at this, and it caught her eye enough for her to comment on it. But I think perhaps I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Perhaps we are kind of missing a couple of things here. So yeah, it does look weird and off center and off. It actually looks like it's so. I think it's a light. To be completely honest with you, I think it's one of these other lights and it's off, or it's only lit on one side, or something like that. She has so much to say about it. Right in her face, right in her face. And she pans, she discovers where she's at. Oh, these aren't trees. These are trees rather, not bushes. She's doing this from her apartment apparently. But you see, it looks remarkably like these to me. And it's just higher up and closer to her. And maybe she just never noticed it before. I mean, I don't know. There'll be a color change to it. See, the structure of the lights looks almost identical to me, but they're off. So, see, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. You tell me what you. It does, right? It does look like the lights. Heidi agrees with me. Thanks, Heidi. So she's gonna paint the sky now. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Let me see if I can get her sound back. Eh, another thing's gone. Well, you also know she's not panning all the way over. She's at a different angle too. she that's clever. She's clever in the hoax. I will give her kudos on that. Yeah, that is not real at all. That's a light. I'm convinced now. No. She was in. Where is she? Where the Coca-Cola place is? Isn't that in Kentucky or something like? She says so. I muted her though. But this next one is a goofy-looking insect, and you just got to know where you are in the world in order to get something like this. Oh no, this is something different. Okay, I'm so sorry. I was thinking of something else. So there's this odd shimmering, and I'm gonna mute the song because look at that odd shimmering. This weird refraction, and it looks like a filter, doesn't it? It does look like a filter, but it's something low and crawling. But then he scans the rest of the grass. If it's a filter and it's an effect on the camera, it's very well done. And it does look like that. But and see, that's where it gets me right there. There's a the refraction goes wonky and actually affects the entire picture there for a second. So something tells, yeah, you see right there. I think someone's messing with us. I don't think that's a refraction field or cloaking field for a strange alien thing. Um, because I think he told it to lock onto these weird dark spots in the camera because you could do that now. But see how it affects everything, especially when he zooms. So my guess is this is a filter and it's just fake. But it's not an alien. It's not an alien. I was thinking it was a bug thing, but it's not. Now this is interesting. This is a great story. I'm gonna get there, pause it real quick, and turn on the sound. This is from a guy who had or was aware of giant encounters in the military. And man, I love these stories. I've heard these stories myself told to me by my military friends and buddies in the various services, American services, or even a couple of foreign services. But yeah, I'll just let this guy talk. And this is from All Praises brand. Thanks for showing this one. This is great.
Hey, this team of guys. And instead of finding the Taliban, they were confronted with this very large hostile giant who killed them all. And so another team was dispatched to go and find this missing team. And they followed the tracks and went to the where the last transmissions were from this team. And he said that the story goes that they when they went into the cave, the giant was eating on the guys that had slaughtered, and they were able to take him down. Now, there's another story told by my colleague L.A. Marsuli where he had a whistleblower come to him about this incident, which we're not sure if it's the same incident or a different incident, where the giant speared one of these guys from the second team. Might be a separate story, but not 100% sure. And so they went into the cave, this team of guys. And instead of finding the Taliban, they were confronted with this very large.
The story just repeated. But that's fascinating. And it's not the first time I've heard such stories or similar stories. I don't think it's the first time any of us have, really. I keep forgetting to bring the mic up here. Sorry. Are we having fun yet? Okay. So the the Giants of Kandahar is apparently a legit phenomena. There's been reports and nothing released, unfortunately. But wow, whistle blow on that, man. We got UAP whistleblowers. We need the Giants explored, man. There was that one video, and I think it was kind of fake, to be honest, of this dude, this thing, this creature, being, whatever it is you want to call it, must have been 20 foot, and it was dead. It was a dead Sasquatch in the middle of the forest. And these guys are examining it. And at one point they interact with it and they tap its hand in a remorseful kind of way. I don't know if this poor entity went down kind of bad, like maybe it was shot or something. I didn't see anything like it, but if it was a hoax, it was a really good one. And my guess is it is a hoax because the hand is the only thing that's interacted with, and they don't touch the fur. They just walk around it. They just walk around the perimeter of it. The only thing they touch at one point is the hand, and he does that. And that's what makes me think there is some legitimacy potentially to that. If this is acting on their part, well done, nice instincts. It's but when it comes to the Giants of Kandahar, apparently the military has drone footage, thermal, not thermal video from ground units that are picking these things up on from observation posts. Yeah, whistle blow on that, man. I want to see that footage. That would be amazing. Just amazing. Giants of Kandahar and Afghanistan and all those places? Absolutely. Yes, please. Yes, please. That would be fantastic. Okay, let's move on. We are here and we're going to go. Don't worry, I know I got to switch over. Okay. You know, that. All right, I'm going to pass on that one. And we're going to do this one. I think this is. Okay, this is another talky one, so I'll let it go. And I'll switch over. Nope. There we go.
Recently, I was part of what is known as an NHE 7 debrief, directly receiving communication from a being originating outside of this planet. This NHE has been in support of the
NHE is non-human entity, just for the uninitiated.
Human race for a very long time and will be leaving Earth soon to make way for what is coming. All right. Bit of foreshadowing here, a bit ominous.
This is from Area 52.
Aliens living here, but he's like, all right, I guess it's time for me to pack up and get out of here because something else is coming. The Earth has historically been a quote unquote battleground for alien species.
Good times.
Over tens of thousands of years, exotic species have demonstrated magical, actually just quantum, ability to people of this planet to attain local godlike.
Okay, I think that's hyper cool to focus on. That magic is really quantum entanglement of some sort, bringing one thing to connect two particles connected across any given distance, but being able to have instantaneous communication with each other to one degree or another. And that's kind of what magic truly is. It's being able to initiate that connection. Isn't that fascinating? We always knew science would explain magic, and there we have it. So we're gonna have to pick up. So yeah, and they're one of the first things, we were just there in India. Yeah, this is an Indian god or portrayal of one with the blue skin, and I don't remember who it is because it's not my religion, and my study of other religions is woefully lacking. Moving on.
Status. Think Mahabharata.
There you go.
Hinduism. Some of this was for personal gain, whereas some were genuine sacrifice to teach people of this planet how to correctly increase quantum states to positive, what we call integer flows. The repeated destructive flow was eventually stopped after a benevolent species laid claim to this planet and left behind an autonomous facility to regularly audit the planet for any outside interference. This planet has been under the protection of this ever-watching autonomous facility for a very long time. This is now ending due to depletion of local resources, not just on this planet. It has been unable to print craft occupants for a while and has been gradually reducing the size of autonomous bots in an effort to maintain audit operations. I will only answer sensible questions. Okay.
Many of flags are being raised so far. Let me know in the comments after that opening message. What is your gestalt? What is your feeling or vibe that this person gives off? Do we feel like this is a LARP?
If it's a LARP, it's a very, very good one, I have to say. Given that they answered a lot of questions that I was asking along the way. So as a debrief goes, and thank you very much to Area 52 for putting this out there for the world to enjoy. For me, it answers a number of questions that was even last week were unanswered. So, that's awesome. Chiefly the planetary audit and the use of bots. Probably not mechanical hydro and gear bots that we have today, and we do have some. Some are commercially available, but more biomechanical stuff. So it's probably clone this, that, or the other, and you have a probably a biological or a partially biological brain into these so-called bots that are able to be fed instructions at the digital level and or quantum level. So yeah, I think that's chiefly what we're dealing with. Sorry, I had to adjust the mic there. So I kind of I find that super fascinating that over these thousands of years, and we've heard people talk about this for a super long time. Billy, I just blanked. He just sent me a message today too. It was a robot message. Don't be impressed. Billy Carson. He talked about this in his Pyramid Wars interpretation, and this guy is kind of through this debrief he saw or read about, kind of speaks to that virtually happening the same way. Whether it was Enki and Illeal or not, I can't speak to that, and he doesn't speak to that either. No names are really given. So, but the basic narrative of the Pyramid Wars, as Billy laid it out, is essentially there. And the fact that the bad guys were driven off and the good guys stayed to protect us, and now they can't anymore because they ran out of resources to continue to build their bots for corrective stuff when it comes to auditing our planet. Not the first time me or anyone else watching this has heard that. So keep that in mind. I find it telling, I guess is the word, that this debrief and all this fun stuff that Area 52 and other podcasters like him, like me, find. Oh God, I wish I had his resources. This is second and third hand knowledge over here. That's ridiculous. But this information coming out now, we're talking about 2026 being the year of the disclosure and the awakening and all that fun stuff, which is delightful in its own right. But is that what's really going to happen? Is it going to happen like that? Or is assuming we're going to take what Area 52 guy says, or the debrief he read says at face value, does that mean the whole... okay, I said it before. I mean, we're a little off topic right now, but we all remember Three Eye Atlas. I say it's a rock. I still say it's a rock, but now some have said, "Oh, we can't talk about Three Eye." Freedom of FOIA requests. Freedom of Information Act requests are suddenly being blocked. Cannot confirm or deny, and we don't have stuff to talk to you about it. That's a little suspicious. That could be an implanted false flag. Misinformation at the information level. Who knows? Honestly, I could see that happening, though. Just to have something to deflect to, especially if the was it Project Bluebeam plan still has life, although that thing's been exposed left, right, and center. Wow, the bots are on. Speaking of bots, they're all over my chat right now. Cheap viewers, come on. If they're watching, they're watching. If they're not, they're not. It's okay. Big hello to all you viewers and listeners, by the way. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. But you know what? We're going to have to get back into it. And for all of you listeners out there, you can jump on the live stream and join me live. Watch this live at, let me pull up ye old banner here. There it is. Oh, that's not it. Allow me to edit said banner to include the right information. That's so silly. I'm very sorry about that. That's it's ridiculous, and I can't spell. Yeah, but okay. So let's basically move on. But it's still a fascinating thing that 3i Atlas and all this other information that Area 52 guy put out there. I'm sorry, Area 52 guy, your name escapes me. I think it's Kevin something. But I didn't want to mess it up, so you're Area 52 guy for now. Okay. That looks about right. Saving it and scrolling it. Okay, there we go. Now it has everything. The email and the website, the YouTube website where you can watch us live. So join us there. We'd love to have you there. And from there, you can also join us in the chat if you're so inclined. But let's move on to something a little more fun and paranormal. Okay, this is another interesting one. Excuse me. I'm going to mute it because it's kind of self-explanatory, but we have seen this already today, to a degree. This is a falling cloud. So, cloud-like, kind of sitting there. It looks digital, doesn't it? I mean, if I zoom in even further on this and really get up to it, this person's going to follow it around. So it'll get a little... Isn't that crazy, though? Some of it shifting is kind of digital. Boop, bop, bop, bop. You can see some of the pixels flopping around a little bit. That is so cool. And, you know, now that it looks like a face almost, my pareidolia kicked in. Nose, mouth, eyes, brow ridge, three-quarter thing. Now the eyes just closed. It's going to turn into something else. But yeah, isn't that crazy? And it's moving closer and closer to the ground. We've seen videos, and I thought they were fake. Now, okay, this proves legitimacy. I mean, to a degree it does anyway, because most times you can't... Sorry, I'm trying to keep this thing in frame here. Most of the times you can't fake going in front of or behind lines and antennae and stuff like that, especially those finer points. So this is really, really well done. It's falling to the ground somewhere in this neighborhood, which is just amazing. But a falling cloud that was morphing and stuff like that. Oh, I'm just a lazy little cloud falling from the sky. Don't pay attention to me. All right. That's not creepy at all. Okay, so I kind of wanted to get into doppelgangers a little bit, but I thought maybe a little bit of archaeology leaning into ancient alien stuff again, and also kind of speaking to what Area 52 guy was talking about. These artifacts are dug up in somewhere. Let's see. He doesn't say where. I can read a cable on the. There's a cable somewhere. Someone saw a cable. I thought that was interesting. So, apparently these things are just sitting there. Yeah. It's interesting. It's really kind of interesting because, I mean, the contacts, if they're there, someone said they saw it. There it is. I saw it. Yeah, okay, I saw it. I saw the cable. But that could be a cable of something else. Who knows? Although I didn't see it. I saw that cable again. Did you guys see the cable? So let's watch it again. There it is. I'm going to pause it. There's a cable. I don't know if it's leading to something over here, though. And I don't know what that bamboo paddle thing is for. Oh, wait a minute. Is that where the cable's going? No, it isn't. Is it? No. That's the shadow. So there's a cable flowing back here somewhere. But apparently this guy... So, I don't know. This is 50-50. I saw him digging all this stuff up. That could have been faked. Honestly, I don't know. I'm so 50-50 on this. Let me know what you guys think, but apparently these are ancient artifacts that have stored energy in them. These little doodads have baubles in them that glow. I'm trying to see where that cable might go. I also want to point out that I don't see it on the sitting figure here, a cable. But I do see one flowing over here somewhere. So I'd be curious to know where all that comes from. I'll say this: if this is fake, they went through a lot of trouble to make this happen, putting the corroded old contacts on these things so the power would flow to these lighted objects, these crystalline objects. So I don't know. I think this guy, called it on the cable being there, and you could see it right there. But I don't know. Someone went through a lot of trouble to fake this, if it is faked. That's all I'm saying about that. Levitation guy. Oh, criminy Tim, did you goof? I think you goofed. Okay. Going back here and talk about the freaking... There she is. Okay. Again, we'll get into her in a little bit. Bobby Millie Broadband looks like Elizabeth Perkins. No. The nose is wrong. The eyes are wrong. So I think that's complete crap, and we're moving on. So this is the levitation guy. And basically what he does is he focuses, and he puts that thing there. It says I use it for balance in the video. But he's got a metronome going over here. Let me turn on the sound. Breathing. I'm looking for alternate shadows here. Breathing.
Мои вибрации сейчас настолько сильны, что я могу остановить часы, я могу остановить метроном, абсолютно все.
Metronome stopped.
Это уже называется баланс.
Balance. Imagine if you had to fly around like that, though. Sitting in the cross-legged position. That would get old quick. You know what? I'm going to let you call the ball on that one. Is this real or not? And it passes. Yeah, he passes the wand or his pole, but his balance stick there under himself to prove nothing's there. But that doesn't prove nothing's back here. The video's not the best either. Oh, see, he passes over his head. I missed that before. But it's still fascinating, and we've seen televised now. It's been documented. Buddhist monks can do this just by focus and a little bit of breathing. The breathing's what got me. So I'm 50-50 on this one. I want to believe, but I didn't witness it myself. I hate to be that skeptic, but who knows? Okay, we're moving on. This is a guy demonstrating psychic ability. Who's to say he's not coached by this lady? Her arm never leaves her side. Let's watch it temporarily. Okay.
It's coming in like hot, like the sun. I'm getting like galactic stars. It's a star, it's yellow.
Bingo. There we go.
So this one's always hard because I get this confused. So what I'm seeing in my mind, once again, you can see I'm completely shut. What I'm getting in my mind is right angles. So right angles to me mean that it's either a square, it could be the star, or it's a plus. This one's coming in hard right angles. I'm going to say it's a plus.
Bingo. There you go.
It's hot, it's love, it's passion, it's bubbles. It's a red circle.
All right. Ready? There you go, Ryan.
It's coming in like hot, like the sun. I'm getting like galactic stars. It's a star, it's yellow.
Bingo.
Okay.
There you go.
So this one's always hard.
All right,
because
so
I get
we're
this
repeating
confused.
stuff now.
What I'm seeing in my mind, once again, you can see I'm completely shut.
Okay. So the Soul Explorers, I've heard of these guys actually. And this is a test across the internet, which I find interesting. He needs professional blindfold, sleeping mask kind of thing to pull this off. But as it happens, my partner in paranormal and scary, she can do this. So do I believe it? I believe it's possible. He's over explaining it for me, and that's a red flag. But at the same time, just call it wavy lines, plus sign, gold star, all that fun stuff. I'd like to see that. I don't need to hear his process because it sounds like he's distracting, and that's what magicians do. So I don't know. The blindfold could be see-through. I mean, it's possible. So I'm 50-50. I want to believe this one. I want to, not sure I do. Okay. This is weird. This one was weird. I've never had an EVP like this before. But I'll play it for you. I should say I've never had an EVP like this in my personal experience.
You guys like music?
I love music. That's completely possible. We've had weird stuff happen on our thing, so I tend to believe this one, or I should say, I want to believe this one. But yeah, especially when two apps say the same thing, that is remarkable. That's a weird artifact happening behind me. Let's see if I can clean that up. Oh, it's a mic. Yep, that's my microphone, kids. Sorry about that. Okay, Heidi, this one is for you. We have the secret planet or secret moon in orbit around our planet here, and this woman in Colorado claims to have caught it on her tape. So let's give that a listen.
This is the planetary-like object at Wolf Creek Pass in Colorado on the FAA weather cams. This object is rotating in the sky. You can see it. These spots or whatever they are, clusters, they kind of look like lights or something. They also
you can't see it. I'm so sorry, guys.
It's in the sky. Otherwise, it would not be being picked up.
There we go.
This is the planetary-like object.
Okay, we'll watch it again because I goofed.
On the FAA weather cams. This object is rotating in the sky. You can see it. These spots or whatever they are, clusters, they kind of look like lights or something. They also rotate with it. It's in the sky, otherwise it would not be being picked up.
Okay.
This is the planetary-like object at Wolf Creek Pass in Colorado on the FIA weather cams.
Where's
This object is rotating.
Okay, so she recorded the FAA. She recorded the FAA weather cam, and she spotted this secondary world, this plasmoid kind of world, spinning around up there. And I will have you notice this corona here on the side of this thing, and it you'll notice it faces the sun every single time, and it's visible here through the cloud layer, and I would expect that that's the sun over there. You know what I think this might be? Because if anything were that obvious, it wouldn't just be obvious in Colorado. You know what I think this might be, though? It's even with the rotation, because I think it may be a refractive, not reflective, but a reflective aspect of our sun. Kind of like lens flare, but not. It's like a pinhole camera effect kind of happening. If you happen to know what a pinhole camera is. And you kind of see everything upside down and reverse, from the outside. It's really cool. It's a no photographic effect. But I think she's actually seen the sun there, like a refracted version of it. Not refracted. I keep calling it reflected, but it's bouncing off the lens itself, and it's shining straight back onto the covering of the lens, and I think that's what she's seeing. And this would almost, the rotation and everything, I think she's looking at flare points on the sun. That's the sun she's seeing. Isn't that cool? That's a really cool grab, actually. That's an astronomical thing right there. It's pretty awesome. And even under the cloud cover, she's saying, see, there's the sun and there's the real thing right there. So I think she's actually seeing like some weird effect. The lens, sometimes lenses have pinholes in them on these security cameras, especially if they have a zoom capability to them, just to clear water and stuff like that. But it's really fascinating that she caught that. I want to zoom in again. But yeah, I think that's actually the star. It does look very cool. I'll admit that, but I think she caught the sun. And it does spin that fast, by the way, and it has all these weird blobby things all over it. So, very cool grab. I'm going to call that the sun, though. Okay. Here's a little Mandela effect for you guys. And this guy is positive, just positive of what he saw. However, I do remember it differently.
Do you remember? 1922 was built in Washington, D.C. We all seen it. We've all learned about it. We all had social studies. Now, what is Abe doing? If you remember, like I remember, he's sitting in the chair.
No, see, there's a fist right there.
Both hands are rested on the armchair. But guess what? It's not. In this timeline, one of his hands is a fist, and one is resting.
I got to be completely honest with you. That's exactly how I remember it. Like this. So is this a Mandela effect? No, I don't think it is. And honestly, the Mandela effect is, for my money, from my own personal experience, I've been on this earth for almost 54 years now. And I've seen a lot of stuff. But when it comes to the guy for which the effect is named after, some say he died in prison, others say he never died. No, he was on a hunger strike, and someone put the rumor out that he died in prison, and the news actually ran with it. Oh, we have a correction. Like a day and a half later, this is true, or something like along those lines. And they said, no, he survived, and he's being force fed intravenously now because he passed out. They were afraid he was going to die, and yada yada yada. So he didn't die, or they may have had to resuscitate him too. So maybe he technically died, but that's Mandela. But I remember this, the fist on the armchair and the two hands. Other depictions who recreated this image, the statue in Hollywood films, have done both hands. Sorry, my mic's in the way. Have done both. My mic's still in the way. Have done both hands on the chair equally, but no, in reality, it's the fist. So something tells me he's remembering a Planet of the Apes episode from the 70s. And they did change that, and they put his hands like that, but replaced his head with an ape head. So that's always fun. I'm gonna have to call BS on this particular Mandela thing. Okay, for my money, if it's a cloud or a UFO trying to hide as a cloud, yeah, get fluffier. Learn lesson from the falling clouds. Because this is a little obvious. I'm not going to play the sound on it though, because it's just ridiculous. But let me zoom in. This is from Beyond the Radar. Thank you, Beyond the Radar. But see, okay, I'm going to pause it. Let's see if she goes back in for a sec. So, okay. Never mind, she's staring right at the sun back here. So it's a little blown out. I will say it's weird to have that kind of a formation peak or something kind of making that formation happen. And if it is a UFO trying to cloak itself, it kind of messed up. Who's going to report this? We look like a cloud. Well, from a certain perspective, yeah. Now, there are disk-like clouds that form in the meteorology. Wow. I can't talk, apparently. I just forgot to use the language. I want to go back to our sun thing real quick, just because what Heidi said. I didn't see this before, Heidi, but she swears up and down that in 2020, the sun looked considerably bigger. You will also potentially remember that in 2019, apparently, when CERN fired up, I think that was one of the first time shifts. So who knows, right? But I don't give that any real credence personally, but I know there's been interesting things happening there. But yeah. UFO or cloud, you be the judge. For me, it's I've seen the phenomenon logged before, and it has been reported in the past as a UFO invasion, and it really wasn't. They were just clouds, and they dissipated over a while. And there's a certain phenomena that has to happen in order to make that happen, but it's not that uncommon. Uncommon enough, but it's still pretty cool. Okay, I forget what this is. Oh, yes. I'm going to mute this because these guys drop the F-bomb every 20 milliseconds. But it's an interesting thing. They find this bizarre flare coming out of the clouds, and it's just here. There's nothing above it. There's nothing below it. There's just this weird plasmic thing, these drippy little cloud things here. And she confesses on the video. Again, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to play the audio because it gets a little cussy. But it's a fascinating thing. I mean, it looks like some weird sort of fallout happening. And kudos for the caption. We see little plasmoid balls forming. So I don't know what to make of this. This could be some UFO activity. And it certainly is. That's exactly what it is, actually. It's UFO or UAP activity. And there's a street light over there. So, yeah, that's bizarre. Something was happening. Something was happening. Alrighty. Let's get over to me real quick. Hello again. We're going to take a short break. But before we do, assuming I can make this happen, because I was having trouble earlier. Let's see here. I'll tell you what, let's just do the things, and I'll bring this up in the background later. I'll stop that screen. Oh, I stopped it all. Okay, let's just take the break, and we'll see you in about 2 minutes, give or take, assuming I can find the thing. There it is. See you soon. This is the United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM in New Orleans and 105.3 in the Gulf Coast. UPRN talkradio.com. Esoteric programming at its finest.
Long ago in the ancient world, the Trebus Omnes Lux, later known as the Tridents, were celebrated heroes, defenders of humanity against unspeakable monsters. Today, they continue that sacred duty in secret, hunting the dark evils that lurk just beyond the shadows. They are the Trident of Light.
And we'll be right back after this. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tim Sudano, host of Paranormal Insight, a weekly video magazine that reaches 500,000 viewers and listeners every week on average, and the number is only growing. Connect your brand with our curious, dedicated audience who want authentic content and authentic brands. For further information on putting your brand on the show, contact me directly at paranormal.insight.podcast@gmail.com. That's paranormal.insight.podcast@gmail.com. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. Today we're going to talk about the strange and the unusual. Check out our Patreon. Get deeper behind-the-scenes insights. Also, tips into being a better paranormal investigator and other fascinating content. Follow us on Instagram at paranormal.insight. Stay informed on upcoming shows, see what paranormal trends we're following, and help us reach 50,000 followers by liking, following, and sharing. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube at paranormal_insight. Click the live tab to see our latest videos. There I am. How's about that? That thing just lags sometimes, and my apologies for that. Also wanted to let everyone know about the new film festival out there. It's called I can promise I'll share it here. Here you go. It's called the Indie Innovators Film Festival. Let me zoom in on that ever so slightly. Oh, I can't do that because it's in the wrong window. Okay. The festival itself opens on May 30th and 31st, and they are accepting all genres in the short and feature category, including documentaries, including animation, and including student films. So, if you want to have your film, if you want to submit your film, please do. There are no guarantees, of course, as to whether or not your film was selected. You do have competition out there. But it is going to be a lot of fun. I'm running this particular film festival. So get out there, get your film sent in. The early bird deadline ends today. But if you're a student, I'll keep the early bird prices open just for you. And you may have to make an inquiry of me through the I2F2 website, which is right there. Let me see if I can zoom in on that a little bit. There we go. So That's the. So you can go to Fest Home, or you can go to scruffytux.com, which is my production company since I'm hosting the show, and check us out there. I'm also going to leave the QR code up there for a few minutes, and I'm going to rotate it up ever so slightly. There we go. And then I'm going to zoom out. Okay, I'll just leave it there so you can take a picture. Then we'll come over here. I wanted to show you some important dates. We launched on January 29th. But let me tell you about the awards. Awards for Best Picture throughout the whole thing. Even if you don't get an award in your genre, you can still get an award as a Best Picture. Best Male and Female Actor, Best Director, and then we have the genre awards, which is Best Drama, Comedy, Sci-Fi, Horror, and Documentary. And who knows, you could, with the exception of, you could have a docudrama, I don't know. But you could do a run. That happened to a friend of mine. He won a French film festival, like all of them, like all the categories. He won. Good time. It was a good story. Yeah, it's always nice. But we like drama, comedy, sci-fi, horror, and of course documentaries and experimental and all kinds of fun stuff. So join us at the Indie Innovators Film Festival on festhome.com. You can find us there, or if you want to register directly, you can go to scruffytux.com/I2F2. And badges will go on sale probably mid-April if you want to just attend and support us that way. Thank you very much for your attention on that. I will close this, and here we go back into trolling the paranormal. That's not it. Is that it? Sure, that's it. Okay. So, back at it. This guy talks about uncontacted tribes. I'm going to not do that one, but I will do this one. This is on the along the lines of don't whistle at night and don't answer the door when you know that the person who is supposed to be there is not there, or whoever this entity says they are. It's kind of creepy. This is creepy. This is a good one. Okay, this guy pops in. Okay, this guy keeps popping his head in there. Pops the door. Oh, that's creepy. Okay, he still keep. That's the guy who runs this. I wish I could find the original video. I don't want to start this. Okay, so that's where this guy pops in. That is by far, and thanks to Latinos Against Spooky Bleep, I can't say the name, but for putting that up on the internet, that's really cool. The reality of that being possible, yeah, it could be a great little horror flick. I mean, it's a good opening. I might actually steal that, but that'd be really cool. Oh, geez, my mind is spinning on that idea right now. I gotta write that down. But does that happen in the paranormal for real? Absolutely it does. And especially in the more rural areas, this appeared to be something of an urban setting. But as he opened the door, I do believe no one was there at the very end. And then Buenos Tardes guy came in. I don't know. I think his name's Luis, but don't quote me on that. This next one's from a popular show I usually don't follow, but they had an SLS camera on hand, and they caught this dude there, this entity lying across the thing. I just wanted to share that. Okay, they bleep. That's good. All right.
There's something happening.
is laying down next to him. I can't believe what I'm seeing. A figure is laying down on the pew next to Aaron with its legs on him. How is that even possible? Would you look at this? Oh my God. It has its legs over your legs, Aaron.
It's literally dangling its leg in between your legs, and its head is resting.
Why is it so?
Can you stand up?
Hold on.
It's getting up. It's sitting up in the chair now.
I need you to stand up.
Holy, it's getting up.
Okay.
I need you to stand up. Look what it's doing with its hands.
Pretty crazy.
You can do it.
Stand up.
Just stand up.
Well, my left side is burning up.
And it just
Oh, okay, that's him.
And right now,
Oh, it's inside him.
the same exact
He's not
spot.
moving.
And it is
Now,
not
okay, hold on. I'm going to pause this.
Dude, that was incredible.
nobody.
Okay. So first we have the guy laying down. I'm going to fast forward. No, I can't fast forward, unfortunately. But I'm going to mute it. So as this happens, I find it... Oh, we have comments. Look at that. Hey, Vet Girl's here. Woohoo! I don't know, Vet Girl. They're just... Man. You need to get more. You need to get on to get more people on your Vet Girl. Spread the word. Do like Heidi does. You don't have to. I'm just teasing. And I'm so happy to have you here. But look at the. So the SLS camera does this. It is actually designed to. Sorry. It is actually designed to interact with the human form. It'll do this goofball LiDAR thing and identify the human form. And then you could use it to interact with games. I think, oh, I forget now. One video game system or another used this. I think they still do, like the Wii or something. And then someone said, "Well, if it can identify human forms, how can it identify, I guess, human forms that aren't there as far as, tangibly?" And apparently it can. We've seen this happen before. There's a couple of famous videos regarding SLS cameras and their ability to capture entities, big and small. And we had an experience, my team had an experience where we caught an entity about that big. I'm not even close to kidding you. Maybe about the size of my head. That big, sitting and watching us and peekabooing in and out of a fireplace. That was interesting. Could have been something like a gnome or something, we don't know. But something Fae related. But then this thing, it's later on when this thing stands up. I single quote that. And sits in this guy's body that for me, it's designed to see a body. Although it isn't seeing his body, which is interesting. That for me, just, I don't know, kind of puts questions in my head, puts flags up on this. So this could be shadows interacting, because you will notice this joint and this joint do match his leg, which is right about there. And while we have this, foot thing here, and that don't line up, they still are also kind of parallel to this lower part of his leg. So that could be just a falsification, a bad read. So who knows? But it's still very interesting, and I think the technology has a potential. I don't know what's going on with that. That's pretty funny, though. I saw that episode. Okay. The shadow figure. We'll watch it, but for me, it's not all that wonderful, and why it's in. So, yeah, it tells you where to look. Okay. That could be someone upstairs, let's be completely honest. No one's supposed to be home. And there's this girl just sitting there, and these guys Okay. Yeah, and that's an advertisement. Okay, great. But okay. So yeah, okay, that's a close up of it, but that's definitely someone walking. See, that's easy. That I think they just found someone walking around upstairs. Whether they say, so no one else was there but us. We were all downstairs. That's easy to fake. And so I had to, while they may be completely right that it did happen, no, I can't give it that level of legitimacy. Just because it's too easy. The form that was captured is too human looking, and it looks like it could have been falsified just to get a click. Who knows? I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying there's too many questions to, like, if they had another camera up there at the same time and we see the shadow going across the wall and the other perspective from downstairs, then I'd lock in on it. Maybe they only got one camera that for some reason is in full spectrum. I don't know why, but that's their prerogative. But yeah, so let's take a look at some UFO activity. So someone has a really good phone, and they're going to zoom all the way into the moon here, and then I want you to keep an eye on that dot as they zoom in. It's really cool, and then we see that happen. So we can see that, gosh, a really good phone. Must be one of those new Samsungs. But this thing launches something. Now that could be us. That could be China. They were on the far side of the moon at one point. This thing actually disappears over the horizon. So that could be what that is. Someone captured the Chinese lander. That's time. I think we have a couple landers up there too, to be honest, besides the stuff that we had up there in the 60s, or have up there in the 60s. So I think that's very possibly, and actually kind of looks like it, the Chinese moon landing. That's pretty cool, though. But nothing paranormal, not to my eyes. Okay, this one is messed up. Fair warning, you're going to hear a bunch of demonic screaming. It's completely illegible. I don't think anything bad is happening. I mean, it sounds like, I take that back. It sounds like something very bad is happening, but it's just a bunch of screaming. I don't detect any language. I don't know. So I think it's okay. But this guy gets a voicemail. He gets two of them, actually. They are horrific. Just come out of the blue as they're investigating this place. And this is brought to us. David found this one. And I guess Mr. Nightmare brought it to our attention.
Video, though, the man's phone doesn't even ring. He just gets two straight to voicemail notifications. No phone number or any contact details attached to the voicemail.
Okay. Now, I will say, freaky as that sounds, it's entirely possible that that could have been set up. And it's entirely possible that that was manufactured. Because you can do things like just dial into people's voicemail on your cell phones. It's totally doable. Leave a return message kind of a deal. So, yeah, you could bypass the ringing and they just suddenly showed up. And you could do that with your computer as well. Oh, sorry. Bit of an itchy nose there. So, while I'm not looking to cast aspersions on this team at all, and having heard of other investigators I do trust, not that I distrust these guys, but at the same time, I don't know them. Having had something similar happen, In fact, I think it's there's another example of what that's closer to what I've heard. These guys get like these demonic kind of roars. Sorry, that's my imitation of it. And it's not that hard to do. You just breathe in and engage. Oh my God, your vocal cords. And I cough like a moron afterwards, but you know, and there you have it. So let's continue. In fact, that it's just inhaling and making funny noises. I think that's what it is. I think this is fake. That's what it sounds like to me, anyway. So we'll move on. That's faked. Called it. Okay, David brought us another one. The crop circles thing. Hotly debated. This is Linda Moten Howe on Ancient Aliens, when they're talking about crop circles and messages and what it means. Sorry, talking young. And you know what? I'm going to leave that to personal interpretation where you go. And we only get half the story on this for starters, for that part as well. This guy goes on for a long minute, and I don't want to subject my audience to him. So oh gosh, so many. It's so easy to get out of this stuff. Okay, find the guy. There he is. There's a couple of these that have, like this dude with the creepy stuff. I think he gets a little. But I want you to watch the hands. See those two shiny bits down there? Onto his side. Yeah. Here and here. Yeah. Keep an eye on that. And then he starts, oh. And even that doesn't get the nope. So, red eyes staring back at you. And he says, oh, I got an itchy. Yeah, look what I got here. I think that's a dude in a mask with lights on his head. Because the camera person is super extra calm. Personally, that's a jump back thing. You know, my my personal survival instinct says, nope, giving this thing some distance, although I would also hit it with a huge amount of light. I wish I could brighten this up. If this is a costume, it's I don't know, those look like very plasticky, shiny hands to me in a costume. So who knows? Yeah. So my first blush at that is kind of costume, because that would warrant a bit of a freak out factor on my personal. I cannot make this thing work. There we go. So, big thanks to Earth Phantoms for that one. That was good. Yes, I love Linda Moten Howe too, although Joe Montaldo has informed me on her being less than authentic in some of her reportings, although I do find her very credible. Yeah, this is a lesson on driving through the Appalachian Mountains and running for good reason. Let's get the mic closer to the thing here. I think there's swearing, so yeah, there is. Oh no, we're out of here, and they're even saying it on the screen. But so, or that weird little baby cry, fake baby cry thing, that's creepy. Entirely possible. We've heard and witnessed such things before on this channel and on others. This one's fun. I think this is a trick of the light and the video camera, because it was to you borrow a different term, for lack of a better term, rather, the cat. Well, you'll see the cat ghosts. So there's the kitty. And it's going to lick itself. And they say, this is a spirit cat. I've been feeding it. But suddenly it disappears. Well, the spirit cat has fleas, apparently. Lots of licking. And then, zoop. Okay. And then it disappears right there. I wish I could rewind that, but I can't. So it'll loop, and we'll have to let it loop. I'll zoom out ever so slightly. Okay. So here's the kitty again. I'll keep it right here. It cleans itself. Scratches itself. Licks itself again. And then watch it go across the street. Okay. Now, it's entirely possible, given the amount of blur on this thing, that thing probably took off super quick, and the timing of the frame rate couldn't keep up with it. I don't think it literally disappeared. I think it shot across the street. Or hung a quick right and went after something in the gutter. I don't think the cat disappeared on him at all. And the resolution of this is so, and you can even see it. Yeah, you see that it trailed a little bit over here. So it just ran faster than what the camera could pick up on. That's what it was. Sorry, not a spirit cat. Very sorry. I know that everyone wanted that to be a ghost. Okay. This is an example of something creepy coming out of the corn, and how easy it is to fake and or mimic. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. Talking on. Fake or mimic scary stuff. Okay, that's clearly someone in a costume. Rah. See, the dog won't attack. The dog knows this person. The dog knows that person. Okay. So that was either a person in the costume or an AI overlay. Moving on. Wow, I'm just knocking them down a little too quick here. Now, this one purports that a strange creature lurks on the bridge, and I don't know where this is, but it was kind of freaky. But in reality, if you look at it a couple of times, it isn't. So this guy drives up on a motorcycle here. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You see this guy up here? Yeah. Watch. He freaks out. He says, oh no, what is that? What is that? I don't know what that is. It's a dude. It's not a creature. Okay, I'll stay zoomed in on the bridge this time. He's already sitting there. There's just some crazy dude. Look, he gets afraid once he starts crossing the bridge, so he goes to all fours like you do, right? That's a guy. He's wearing jeans and a shiny jacket. Not a ghost. Ding, knocking that one down. This one reportedly shows a rake, really low quality. I'm very sorry about the low quality. But there's a boar or something? Stocky animal, whatever it is. And then there's this gray thing over here. Let me zoom in a little bit. And it's like a water buffalo or something, this thing. Or steer. I can't tell. So grainy. This gray thing stalking it, and it's so blurry. It's so blurry. Oh, look at what we caught. It's a gray thing stalking someone. Yeah, could be. Strange pale creature. Well, maybe. Beastly Pumpkin, thanks for that. Okay, this one is fun. Oh, Tim. Ah! Pardon my frustration and yelling in your ear. Okay, this one's fun. This is a photo. I want you to look I'll zoom in on it a little bit. Bunch of young people having a little picnic. I guess there's an older person there to supervise them. But mostly it's teenagers. So I think it's a high school class or something like that. Okay. My guess is that the summer or spring evening, based on how everyone's dressed. Lots of shorts. I'm going to hit the second button here. Okay, no, we're not. Okay, this is an overexposed version of the same photo, and you will see a face here, and you will see a face here. Ghosts? I don't know. Let's go to the next photo. Someone zoomed in on this one. Okay. I'm going to go back to the other one real quick because they didn't even talk about this one. They talked about this guy. Maybe they didn't notice. I don't know. But for me, this is possible spirit photography, although you are doing this at night under a limitedly lit. Wow, Tim, I think I'm making up words here. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here's the thing: you're in a weird gazebo. I think it's very easy. These guys look like they're right up against the edge of this, where the light is actually catching them. These guys back here. So let me zoom in on that a little bit. So these guys back here. And it's very easy to say, oh, someone was standing behind these two guys in that weird little space right there, but they were outside the shot. There was no illumination there. And to be honest, it doesn't look like a flash was used. Looks like this is a natural light thing. Maybe it wasn't a prolonged take, definitely a digital camera. So I'm thinking that's what it was. Someone just snapped the picture. But then let's go to the other one. This face does look a little downcast, like the light was hitting them super weird. They're illuminated from the top a little bit. And if their light is blocked by these dudes here, I can see that happening. And then the light here kind of also reflects the fact that this individual is standing on this side of the larger light source, but outside and in the back, possibly being blocked. So, for my money, oh gosh, there's another face right there, I think. There's a few faces in here. This could be spirit photography, but at the same time, I don't know. It could be people just standing too far outside the frame for the camera to catch. Who knows, realistically. I'd like to go back to that whiter shot, this shot here. I want to look at the ground. So my guess is this is someone's backyard. I got a barbecue pit here, a picnic table, nice silverware and such. This is a gazebo. See, I'm thinking more and more people are just standing outside of the frame. All these tall people are casting shadows the right way. In fact, I want you to look at this guy right here. Let me punch in on that. Look at this guy. He's in the back. And he is not fully... He's enough in the light, but look at the way it's hitting him. See that shadow right there? So the light's pretty much casting downish. Sorry, my analysis is a little annoying, I know. But, yeah, same angle. Yeah, that's the thing that gets me. So I'm thinking, and this is let me go over here. This stupid thing. Okay, no, that's not helped me either. All right, let me zoom out. Get over here and zoom. Oh, you piece of junk. There we go. No, that's so weird. It won't let me do it. Okay, let me zoom here and then zoom here. There we go. That's better. You can see, almost kind of see the face right there. And then there's another one up here. And then, shoot, zoom out, zoom in. This is so annoying. Almost make it out there. But at the same time, I mean, the visible light that this thing's able to see is limited, apparently. This camera, I should say. It's too limited. Yeah. And they also kind of look like the people next to... Yeah, Heidi, that's a great observation. That's an excellent way to put this. I'm sorry, Mish gave me that. Mish is here. Hey, Mish. I'm so sorry. I didn't say hi. I didn't catch you coming to the chat. But Mish says that, yeah. So I'm thinking these are people standing just outside the light, the available light of this space, this little gazebo outdoor picnic thing that someone has going on. Okay, moving on. Whoops. Moving on. And thanks to the creepy, what was that? Who gave us that one? Miss Creepy. Thanks for bringing that to our attention, nonetheless. Even though I believe it doesn't mean much. Okay. Okay, so let's go. Oh, yeah, this is great. Now we've all seen this. I thought it was worth checking out again. This is the hotel that has the screaming going on in the room. This is really good. Okay, real quick, I want everyone to look right here. Now, it could be an artifact of this crappy camera. However, there seems to be some shadow play there. I never caught that before until now. And, yeah. So keep an eye on this. Let me know if you think that's just video artifacts, because this thing is full of them, I'm not going to lie. Or if you think this is shadow stuff. And we may play this once or twice. See the lights blinking? Yes, please. Oh, I wish they showed that. Okay, that may be what we're seeing then. It could be steam. Okay, back to it. Okay, so he's up here in the corner. There we go. We hear the screaming. That's insane. Let's watch for that figure that walks out as soon as he walks in. Oh, yes. There he. Oh, wow. Good catch, Heidi. I forgot about that part of it. There's this white part. You can kind of see it right here. That walks right out. Ooh. Oh, good grab. Man. Oh, again, that's Mish. Mish, I keep giving Heidi all the credit. Good times. So Mish, good catch, good capture. Anyway, so yeah, legit, absolutely. In my book, yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's. I wish I had a larger budget because I would want to go and visit these things and investigate them on my own. Heidi isn't wearing the cool hat. You are correct. You're the best. This one was disappointing. It's cool, but at the same time, so we're gonna skip it because we just look at this guy's face and his reactions, which I think is a bit of a flag, red flag. And then here's another piece of. You'll see. Look at this thing. Look at this crazy thing. Okay, so it's a chupacabra, classic chupacabra, with the spikes on its back and everything. Look at the bunnies; they run toward it. The bunnies want to be on the action. Bunnies would be in a hutch. P.S. Not there at night. Okay, very AI. Very cool, though. I found that very interesting. They got the eye shine down and all that. Very well done. Very well done. But fake. Just to let you know. Okay, this one is interesting. Oh, no. Yes, Heidi is cool and awesome in her own way. Sorry, there's a lot of stuff happening in the chat over here. Let's take a look at this one. It has some elements in it. Some are a little suspicious, others you go, well, explain that away. Let's take a look at that. A big dog-like creature in this busted up little rabbit. There's a gimpy guy, and what comes after him? This weird three-tailed looking thing. Yeah. It's good times. So his dog's looking at something, and it takes forever for him to go around the corner. And this creepy music's there. Golly. And there's something staring back at him. Okay, now this is cool. It's the same creature we saw from Topside. As I look at this, it's a crappy video for starters. Very artifacty, but the shadow play works. It's working well. Here it is again. It's making funny grunty noises that somehow the camera caught. Maybe it's at the right frequency. Who knows? But I just find it fascinating that someone's really trying to sell us on this creature. Kudos too, because the lighting's right. We have a light source somewhere, here-ish, where my cursor is, but like here-ish off screen. And it's shining down, and there's light back here somewhere, and it's hitting the right spots on the body. So my guess is AI is lending its, hand to this. And it's just such crappy footage. I think the legs morph a little bit too. So I don't know. That was, yeah. For my money, I'm gonna say no. Scary, absolutely. Great imagination, and it's not like we haven't seen these creatures described, or had these creatures described to us. This could be an insectoid that we've heard and read about. The three tails throws me off, but my guess is probably fake. Really well done. Three different angles on this thing. Really well done. But I'm gonna say faked, and I don't know why an alien creature, intelligent or otherwise, would be strolling. Just boom, chicky, boom, Pepe Le Pew style, hello. Wouldn't that be funny if you had a French accent? But I will, very creepy. I agree. Sorry, catching up with that. Okay, this is debatable. Because you'll see why. You'll see why. The It Clown icon. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, okay. Okay, the fact that this thing had amazing sound and it's pointed right at that girl in the gate. That was faked big time. The giggle afterward and the puff of smoke that followed, and it's an easy effect to make someone look like they're walking through a wall. I'll have to shoot a demo of that. But easily faked. I think quite faked there. Okay. This one is cool. It's a little long, but it's cool. And I think we have another example of something happening very much like it. Yeah, we do. So I may skip ahead. Oh, shoot, I lost it. There it is. So, all right, watch this.
Inside a factory when he noticed something very strange. Somewhere inside this factory, a welder is working alone, but there's something about him that doesn't seem right. The security guard takes a closer look at the footage and immediately starts to feel uneasy. After watching this incident on the camera feed, he quickly calls over the welder to look at this video and explain what was happening in this clip. But just like the night guard, the welder was left completely baffled. He had no idea as to what was captured. Now, this video took place during the night shift, which makes this incident twice as creepy. Nobody else had been working at this factory except the welder. But according to him, another welder who had the day off had come by to visit him. They had talked for just a bit before the night guard called over the welder to look at this footage. But after watching the video, the welder was left speechless. This is what was caught.
Watch this. This is pretty great. This is screen glare because someone's recording a screen. Also, watch for other shadows because his is being cast over here. Oh, yeah. See that he shook hands with the guy? It's amazing. All right, bro. Gotta get back to
As it turns out, the other welder who had dropped by to say hi wasn't actually there. The welder, who's seen on camera, swears that he saw the other worker in full uniform, as though he was ready to work. They had even shaken hands, according to him. But when looking at the footage, no one appears to be there. Although pretty strange, this incident gets a whole lot stranger after hearing what happened to the worker who apparently had the day off. To their shock, the factory had received news that this worker had passed away in his own home. His cause of death remains unknown, but knowing that he died on the same day this occurrence took place has left the welder feeling spooked. Could it be that the spirit of the welder's friend had paid him a visit during his shift? Or could this whole incident be explained by something else?
Some really good PCP or LSD. No, I'm kidding. I tend to believe this one. I've personally experienced some. Well, I'm sorry, I have not experienced this, but friends, close friends, people I trust have, and there's several instances caught on camera that verify this experience over and over and over again. Not this specific one, but this type of experience. So, did his buddy come by to say hi, or is he really just super dedicated and wanted to go to work? I'm going to have to get someone on here to retell the Disney Haunted Mansion story. And there's a myriad of them, but yeah. It's really cool. Alrighty. So we are looking at 152. I think we've got time for one more. Let's make sure it's a short one because I don't want to go over again. Actually, yeah, let's do this. We'll do this one, then we'll do the other one. Okay. This is creepy. That's cool. That's it. That's a little one. And it's a few seconds long, and that's it. And they just dwell on it. For everything, big thanks to Max History for that one. Let's also look at the El Paso, Texas High School cafeteria. Someone doesn't like the food. Look at that. That's messed up. Could this have been faked? Yes. I want you to watch all this back here, too. That looks like steam to me back here. No poppers. I don't see any poppers available. And some of these chairs are doing some pretty impressive things. Yeah. So. What I don't get is the steam. Why is the food just sitting there in an empty thing at night? Who knows? We have time for one more. Let me know your thoughts on that one. Do I think it's real? I would tend to believe it is, although some of the stuff happening in the background here leaves me a little bit, leaves me asking questions. The drone that caught a ghost. Actually, we're going to verify that Wilder's experience right now. I'm not going to let this narrate, but the door opens, right? And the lady goes over to the opening door, opens the other door, and gives him a little bow. She's interacting with someone. Sure, I can get that for you. That one? Sure. Really great product. I think it'll do you pretty good, and it's this much. And you want to get more? You want to get 2 of them? Okay. You sure about that? Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, just one? Oh, you want something different? Okay, got it. This is by Paranormal. Thank you for that. And then we also have this thing here. She's talking to a customer. She's full on thinks she's talking to a customer right now. And then the others come over and they think she's weird because they saw her interacting and then she passes out. What happened? Crazy, creepy stuff. And it's like, there's no one there. And then, yeah, because apparently this woman vanishes right in front of her when the others come up. Dude, that is super, super creepy. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much all the time we have. Actually, we have 5 more minutes. But it's stuff like this that kind of backs up the welder's experience as well. I had one more to show you, but we can dive into another one in a little bit. So big thanks for watching, tuning in, and I got a couple of smiles and a thumbs up on there. Thanks for that, guys. I appreciate it. So I guess the shop owner, did she have a psychotic experience? But the door's open, man. And she interacted with whoever was there. Okay. And then the welder guy shook the dude's hand. Okay, so these are either phenomenal actors, and this is all a horror story set up, or they experienced the paranormal and, beg your pardon. That was kind of rude. My apologies. Thank you. Yeah, gratitude to you too, is Heidi. I love bringing you guys this stuff. We may do a number 3, depending on how next week goes. It's getting a little old, but there is some more fun stuff. These guys here, for instance, you can't see it, but there's guys who see La Llorona, and there's a shadow person that creeps around, and another guard having a full-on conversation with someone. Oh, wow. And it's just chock full of stuff. And there's a couple things we skipped, so we can go back there too. But thank you for joining me. Once again, my name is Tim Sedano. This is Paranormal Insight, and we will see you next time on... Oh, Mish, it's morning. You're in Australia? Okay, good stuff. Well, good morning to you. Have a good rest of the day. Take it easy, everyone. We'll see you next time on Paranormal Insight. If you have a paranormal experience that you would like to discuss on the show, please email us at paranormal.insight.podcast@gmail.com. That's paranormal.insight.podcast@gmail.com.